Hey guys, it's been a great morning so far, and today we're doing the first workshops of problem solving for Vietnam's Amazing Student Contest 2020. So this is the workshop where we'll be focusing about how to solve problems, how to solve problem in the projects, how to solve problem in the community, how to solve problem in our life. So it's a skill, problem solving skill, you know that, is one of the highest demanded skill set in the world, because it's simple, because the world is full of problems, so we won't care most of the people who know how to solve problems. So we want each of you learn how to more practice about problem solving in Vietnam's Amazing Student and move forward and actually start to solve the problem of your project so you can bring your project to more bigger success. So today we have in our studio for this problem solving workshop is Miquel. Mr. Miquel is the general manager of Oakwood, Ho Chi Minh City. At the same time, he is also very well known in tourism industry, and he's also a social shark of VSHR, Social Shark Tank Social Development Factory as well. So what is our special about Miquel is he's been very active in the youth community and has been connecting with a lot of youths and helping them how they can build a skill set for the workforce as well too. So that's why we find out that he's very passionate and he's also very willing to give everything he knows to other youth people. So that's why we're very lucky to have him here, and he's going to share with you, and you can see that he already started to put some great notes as well too. So to break down into the session is, from now to next 1.5 hours, it will be focused about his keynote. He's going to talk about different aspects of problem solving. Any questions come to your mind, put it on as a comment in the live streaming section, and then we will pick up your question and then answer you after 1 hour section too. We're also going to share you the hotlines into the comment section as well, so you can actually keep asking questions in the hotline as well too. So what are you waiting for? So let's start the workshops. I would like to welcome Mr. Miquel to come forward and start doing. Let's give a big hand to Mr. Miquel. Thank you very much for coming.
Hello everybody.
It's all yours.
Well, thank you very much for joining the talk today. It is very interesting for me to come and share a little bit some of the points and some of the opportunities that we do see in the market. I would like to start to thank John very much for having me here, and the team from BSHR for inviting me to come and join, and of course also a big thank to all of you for being online and shooting our questions to us, because that will be a pleasure for us to answer. So a little bit about what I'm doing here in Vietnam and how my experience, not only in Vietnam, in other countries, can help you. I've been living in Vietnam now for over 20 years. I live in northern part of Vietnam, in southern part of Vietnam, 8 years in Hanoi, 12 years here in Ho Chi Minh City. And before that I work in Thailand, I work in Laos, I work in Cambodia, I work in my country of origin, Barcelona. I'm from near Barcelona in Europe there. So my topic, my major is mostly in tourism and hospitality, but I've been always linked to human management, and that's the value that maybe I can share with you. I've been for many years teaching, coaching, training the trainers, and these, I think, many of the points we will discuss today will interest you and how it is going. I'm currently managing one international property called Oakwood Apartments, Ho Chi Minh City, in District 3. And I'm also part of the Vietnam Tourism Advisory Board. This is an institution that we advise the Ministry of Vietnam on what to do on tourism and hospitality, on airlines, on solving problems, solving visas, solving issues, and all this keeps moving very well. I'm also linked to other aspects on sustainability, problem solving, and seeing how can we make Vietnam better. Okay, that's the short presentation from my side. Let's move into some of the points that we have here on the screen. We just mentioned here problem solving, opportunities, and turning a problem into a benefit. That's some of the points that you will be learning today. So going into problems, Doesn't matter which research you're doing, which job you're doing, in which sector you are working or cooperating, there are always problems to solve. Problems can be from a wide different kind. We can talk about problems on not making enough revenue for the company you're working or from the owners you're reporting. Can be you don't have enough funds for the project that you have in hand. Can be you don't have enough knowledge about the things you have to set up. Can be that you have some problems on the table and you don't really know how to solve. And that's the point that we will focus on and try to support you best. You see here on your right side of the screen, my left side, I talk here about the sun chart. This is something I learned many years ago, and I would like to share it with you. That's a kind of secret tool for you to start applying into your problems. The sun chart comes as the name indicates. Looks like the sun here in the middle, and here we do have some options for you to develop, for you to settle down, for you to put on the table all the options you're having. In the center, when you say the sun chart, this will be actually your problem. That is the problem you are facing at the moment. Let's say, we can put an example, that we are running out of cash for our project. That's a typical issue facing many of the new startups, new projects and new developments that you can face online. So as you see in the sun, you have different options there. And we need to start there offering solutions or things that will help us to solve the problem of lack of revenue. Let me give you some samples. If our project is not having enough cash, we can do several things. One, we can ask our friends. We can go to our friends, explain to them the project we have in mind, explain to them why we're doing the project, what is the idea, how the project can be successful, and ask our friend to borrow some money. And so in that case, we'll put option number one here. We'll put some friend. Later on, I will tell you how we develop from there. More options we can do is contact our department head or our director or our immediate boss and explain to them what is happening to our project, why we have no money, why we need more money, where we want to reinvest, why we need to explain all this clear. And so the people around us, they know what we're talking about. And so we'll go here, talk to our superior. Your mentor, your coach, your manager, your boss in your company, all them can give you a hand and help you to establish a real plan to tackle this revenue issue. But what else can we do? Well, we can go to the bank. If we need money, usually the bank has money with the pros and cons. You borrow money from the bank, you need to return that amount of money plus some interest. And so this is something that really we need to reconsider if we really want to go ahead with this bank option or not. But let's not forget that money is there. So we can always go and there and check if there are options. And so we'll put here, go to the bank. You can say, well, what else can we do? Here is where we go in every sun chart that we have. There are always several options. For some projects or some issues, we have 3 options. You have the sun chart is to include as many options as you really have in your mind. So can be that from 3 we can choose the best one, number 1. From 6 we can choose between a good variety. And the idea here is to maximize our efforts to solve that problem that we have. If something comes to your mind at that moment of this webinar, please make a note or ask a question, because we will solve it later on. That's where we have direct contact with you, and you can ask questions and we reply to all your needs. Let's think about other options. I would say talk to some similar project or similar business than yours. That means if you are doing a project on nutrition, for example, can you talk to some other nutrition projects that they are successful, or they are on the way, or they are a startup process or incubation progress? Can you talk to them and learn a little bit the way they move the cash flow and generate revenue? We will call this talk to your own market. I will put here market. Means you talk to your own peers, you talk to your own colleagues. Some of them might be competitors, but I'm a very good friend of competitors, and competition is very good for the market. And we can talk about later on. You talk to these different colleagues and look what they're doing, how they are successful, how are they raising money, are they doing some events, are they doing some campaigns, are they bidding into other different companies or startups to receive some funds? Just think that there are companies in the market that they are just waiting for you. They are waiting for you and your ideas to invest money on it. If you make it successful and the project you have in hand doesn't matter on health, on money, on solving social issues, on food, on distribution, all of them, they have companies interested on it. So hopefully that is your company. So looking at the market is very interesting, because you can learn what they do wrong and what they do right. And that's what we're learning. At the end of this process of the sun chart, the idea is to keep learning from all the mistakes we do in order not to do them again, and to learn the new things we don't know and see how can we be better, how can we be better, how can we improve, how can we solve that issue, that problem we are facing. Right? So you see now we have friends, superiors, bank, market. What else can we do? It might be tickling now. Some ideas, I'm sure, they already coming into the comments below and into the chat. But I will say learn. And learn is a way of improving yourself. If there are things you still don't know in your company, in your project, in your assignment, how can we learn more about that? Reading books, checking online any of the searchers, call it Google, call it whatever you want to go there and look for tutorials, look for information, learn from mistakes and companies that open and shut down. And I'm really interested about the companies that open and shut down. Because if you study clearly why they shut down, from there you can learn and develop your skills and try not to make the same mistake other people did before. So learning, put it here, learn is a very good and important issue. Talking to your superior, talking to your friend, analyzing the market, learning. You see we have now on the table several options. I keep the last one going to the bank, because this is the one that costs you more money. You borrow 100 from the bank, you need to return 120. So that's a bit dangerous, because we are lacking of cash and we have no money to grow our project. So you see in a couple of minutes we develop several options for us to analyze and move forward. The idea here is that this sun is going to be a reproductive sun. We are not just stopping there. Okay, we know these 5 options we can do, let's sit down and wait. That's not a viable option, because the money will not be coming to us, or the funds will not be there. So from there, each one of these points gets converted into a new sun. You make one sun in your friends, means that you are going to talk to some of the friends who can help you into that project. Maybe some, they are not the appropriate friends, perhaps they have no money, perhaps they are busy studying, perhaps they are busy working, perhaps they cannot listen to you because they are overseas, or yes, maybe some people overseas, and some people who's working, they are able to sit down with you and and have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and talk about that issue. That's clear. From there, you go to another of the points, the superior. You may be working alone. Maybe you are working on a team. Maybe you have your mentor or you have your career coach. Maybe. Or you don't have any of those options. Doesn't matter, because you can always talk to people who's in a similar business that you have and seek for some advice or indication or career opinion. I'm sure you know someone. If you don't know, you can always come to BSHRH and check for some support, some idea, as we are several mentors there, several times able to support. I do sit with a lot of people that I never met before. First time ever they contact me, Mr. Miquel, I would like to sit with you, and I have always time to listen and see how can I help, or find somebody who can help. And this can be you. So try not to close doors, try to open doors. You explain the things that you have, from there you build the solution to your problem. We never forget what is the key issue we are facing now. Going into market is very interesting, this market point, because you need to see who can be some of your competitors in that market. Do you have people doing the same project that you have in hands? There is many people into your social problem that you want to solve with your new company? Maybe yes, maybe no, but you need to study them. You need to know who they are, your 5 top competitors, who they are, what they do, at which stage are they. They are collecting a lot of money? Do they have a fund on top who gives them a lot of funds, that's why they grow a lot? Do they have a lot of good stuff? Do they reach the whole market? Do they take very small part of the market? This is important for you. Because you want to do something similar to what they do. And from there, you move and take advantage. Clear. Learn, we talked before about it. There are many ways you can learn, and you know which is the best one for you. If you are an online lover, that you learn online on your portable device, on your smartphone, your laptop, or you like to go to the library, or you want to talk to other people, or you want to learn in any other way, that's entirely up to you. I do recommend also to talk to people from different industries than the one you are looking for. Let's say I'm in tourism and hospitality, but I sometimes seek advice from people working on pharmaceutical industry, and people working on social network, or people working in any other sector, because what I observe during all my over 35 years of experience is that people in other sectors, they give you some ideas that you never thought about it. Give you a sample, me in hospitality business, in hotel business. So I see the industry from behind. Means that I have my customers, I have my staff, I have the people who come to celebrate events. I have many different kind of areas where we are developing the business. But I also like to come to my hotel business from outside as a customer. Means, if I'm a customer and I'm coming there, I see many different things in the hotel from the customer point of view, not from the employee point of view. And that's also very important. So extend your contacts and your network to other industries. You will see that you learn different points of view, always benefit. You discard the ones that are not really appropriate, but I'm sure you will learn plenty of them that are effective and can help you to get your goal and solve the problem that you have. Related to this competition and market there, you see we mark here SWOT analysis. That is a very important tool that we do use in several industries, and is related also to the marketing development, to how you put your product into the scene. SWOT analysis is something you can check online, very easy, but strength by strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That's what SWOT means. If you don't understand exactly, please leave a comment. We can talk about later on and describe each one of them, why yes and why no. I give you just a flash idea for you to see. We are talking about a chart where we have the whole SWOT. So here in this quadrant here, you will have your strength. What are your strengths in your project? Sure, in your project you have several very good points that you are ahead of the competition, that you are good. That's why you start that project. Write it down. That's your chart. Later on we will look at the whole. That's your strength. Everybody should know what are the strengths of your own project. Doesn't matter what is related to nutrition, to health, to drugs, to social impact, to sustainability, to business, to hotel, doesn't matter. You know your strength. But at the same time, you know your weaknesses. You know your weaknesses. If you don't have enough funds, this can be a weakness. If you don't have enough team members to support you, that can be a weakness. If you are located in Daklak instead of Ho Chi Minh City, that can be a weakness. I don't say it's solvable or not solvable. That's some weaknesses that we can face. I'm sure you know better than I do, because you know your own project better. But you just take note of what are your weaknesses. If you forget some of them, you don't worry. We just need to put this into paper or a Word document. You make it 4 sides, you put them. Down here, we come to opportunities. The same applies, threat same applies. What are opportunities? You are starting your project and you know who will be your clients, who will be the people supporting you, who will be your potential impact, who are you addressing with your product? Yes? So, plenty of opportunities for you to reach, to go and to develop. There in the market, there are many companies that will say that they support the startups, new projects, new funds, if you are going to solve some of the problems that we do have, not only in Vietnam, this globally. Some funds coming from outside Vietnam are ready to help you. But we need to know more about your project. So this will help you to let us know what is your problems, what are your issues and your opportunities. Last but not least, threats. What are the threats of your business? When we meet threats, is something that can affect negatively your business, can cut your funds or your revenue, can close your business, can kill you. What are the threats? And then in threats, we can talk a little bit about the competitors that you have. If your project is related to nutrition, but the area that you are looking, they are really healthy, they're really wealthy, they really have a very good nutrition, will affect very different than if you're talking about one area in the Mekong Delta. Well, the nutrition there is very different. And so all these threats you also need to know. So place it there into paper. Clear? If not clear, please leave your comment and we will go to reply your direct question later on. Very happy with John. Together we will sit down here and we will just sit down here to reply and take your questions one by one, or if they are talking about the same topic, we'll put them together, but I'm sure we'll give you more clarity. So, you see now we have 2 things on the table. You can review the video later on if some of the part is missing or you want to recap some of the information. One, the SAM chart, where you have your problem in the center. 2, your SWOT chart, where you can see the strength, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. From there, we need to move forward. How to turn problems into opportunities or into benefits. That's the point that we have here. Turn a problem into a benefit. also key. That's also key. And I do found during the trainings we are doing with many multinational companies, many local companies, many managers, many CEOs, general managers, they struggle a lot on how to turn problems into opportunities. Before we move forward on that, perhaps I give you a sample. I will give you a sample for you to see how we can turn a problem into an opportunity. We've been training recently one student who's doing an internship into one of our bars and restaurants. This intern is really interested in learning the barista skills, how to make coffee, how to make drinks, and how to develop his career, her career into the food and beverage business. That's very good. When I talk to that person and my HR manager talk to the person there, we see that he's really interested and want to learn, and that's the attitude that we do need. So we start doing some training on how to prepare coffee, how to prepare a cappuccino, how to prepare a café soda, how to make a café latte, and all this. So we start, of course, checking the coffee machine, how the coffee machine works. You push here, one coffee, two coffees. We start also to talk on the coffee grinder. What kind of coffee we have there? If we have Robusta, we have Arabica, and how do we grind? And from there, we just take one coffee cup, put it there. The amount of coffee is right, exactly the grams that we need. The amount of water in the coffee machine is also right. From there, we move. So our intern takes a cup of coffee, put it there, put some milk, and the coffee that results, let me tell you, was not very good. That was the first coffee we were doing. But even that, we say, let's learn from this process. So we both tried the coffee, and was really bad coffee. Let me tell you, was really bad. So my beautiful intern also tried the coffee. So, wow, that's very bad. We start caffeine. With caffeine, that's not drinkable. Let's do it again. So you see, from the mistake or wrongdoing, we don't do very good coffee. Let's take a note on what are we doing wrong. That's how we turn this problem, this issue, into a new opportunity, because we are learning them. So we take one hot cup of coffee instead of a cold cup of coffee, and that makes a difference. Because we are using milk, and when the milk is hot and the cup is hot and the coffee is hot, different things happen there in your cup. I recommend you to go and talk to or take a look at some of these beautiful baristas that we have in town, many coffee shops. You really learn a lot on the process, on how the love they put there in every single cup of latte, café soda you are drinking. If it's your favorite drink, you have a cup of tea, it's also a very nice ritual. So the second coffee that we did, the milk was better, the coffee was better, we both try and we get much better there. Try the coffee, well, that's sensible, better, that's good, we improve it there. We are taking the opportunity to improve ourselves. So we do go to the third coffee, and some customers are starting to come in. On that day, we do offer free coffees to all customers, because we are trying and we want an honest reply. So we make the third coffee. I tasted it, was really, really good. So I instruct my beautiful intern to start the fourth coffee for my guests. When we tried the coffee, customers were really satisfied, really happy. They reordered another coffee again. That was the free coffee day. You see that on that day, we try to reduce our revenue or the money we can make in order to make good coffee, and the most important, to have the feedback from all our bar and restaurant users. So after we serve one coffee to the guest, we do check there, how was the coffee? What did you find? Was too sweet? Was too strong? Was too much milk? Too less milk? Was too hot? Was too cold? And we take a lot of notes on what we do right, what we do wrong, what the customer likes, what the customer do not like. Because do not forget, the purpose, the mission of your project is your customers or potential customers. Doesn't matter what you're related to. So you have to solve what the customers need when they contact you. Sometimes it's different of what you like or what you need. Sample, apply to that coffee we're talking. I like the cafe suada because it's very sweet, but one of my customers found it too sweet. Condensed milk is too sweet, Miquel is not. Okay, but that's my customer. My customers, they are paying for the coffee, so we prepare the coffee that our customer wants. And if I want my cafe soda with a lot of condensed milk, I still can prepare. But we are here because of our customers. So, that's the end of the sample. I will share with you now a little bit about customer relationship. Because one of the things you have to do on your project is to try to solve all the issues your customers are facing. When we say your customers, can be your associates, can be the persons you are going to affect, can be the persons you are going to address your project and change their lives. This social impact, really, really important. Doesn't matter if customers pay for it or customers do not pay for it. It's customers. Translated to tourism or hospitality, doesn't matter if the customer is a 5-star hotel or the customer is a 1-star hotel. They are all customers and we should serve them and provide to them all the best we can. It's not because you go to a 1-star hotel that the receptionist will be sleeping and not talking to you, not solving your problem. No, that's not the idea. Customer is always customer. So, first of all, what are you doing for your customers or your potential customers or your associates? What are you doing for them? Because if you are creating your product, your project, your nutrition, your drink, your food, your delivery, any project that you have to see what the customers expect from you. And this is very important. So if you did not go through this study, I think you need another piece of paper, aside of the two that we were talking before, and analyze a little bit what are your customers or potential customers expecting from you. That's important, because if you have a project based on coffee, producing coffee or delivering coffee to the coffee shops or selling coffee in the highlands in Colmetwal, that's a different story. Different customers, different dealing, different expectations, different satisfaction. So we need to know where we are now. So place it in your piece of paper there. Do your customers know really what you want to offer to them? From there you have two options. Yes, the customers know. No, the customers, they don't know. If your customers, they don't know what you plan to offer to them or what is the project you have talking about, you have a problem of communication. You need to go and talk to them clearly on what you want to do. Maybe you did not explain enough what you plan to do, or what is your project about, or what are the benefits, or what are the costs. So when there are unclear things, usually the customer or potential customer move away because it's not clear. That is when somebody calls you and you don't really know what they're selling or what they want from you. They keep talking to you, but you don't really know. So usually you hang up or say, no, I'm not interested. You need more clarity. You need to know. So if this is your project problem, please add more clarity. Explain clearly what is your project about. What you want to do, what you don't want to do, what you will cover, what you will miss. Clear. Let's say the customers, yes, and the other will say no. The customers, yes. They do know clearly what you're selling or what you're proposing or how you want to help to them. But still, they don't buy from you or they don't engage into your project. So start studying. Why yes or why no? The customers you already have, you have to know them better. So if you are delivering milk, you need to know from your customers who buy milk from you, why they buy your milk. Is it cheaper? Maybe it's an option. Everybody likes cheap price. is because of the good quality? Maybe. So if advice, best quality for best price. If you say very low quality milk, very expensive, but business. If you say very, very good quality milk for very, very cheap price, I'm sure your business will shut down very soon and you will lose all your money very fast. So check with your actual customers. If you have one, if you have two, if you have a long list, what is their feedback? That's very important. If you call them directly, or your staff or your associate check with them, or you send them a questionnaire, or you create a Google questionnaire and you send it to them. We need your feedback, we want to know, or you send them an email, or you visit them face by face and you check, listen, I would like to know a little bit more. Why you buy your product? The customer will revert back to you, giving you what can you do to improve your product. And that's what we're looking for, to improve our product, to make it better. So one customer maybe is very busy, has no time to talk to you, it's fine for that. But many of the other customers, I'm sure they can help you to be better. Maybe you need to improve your packaging, maybe you need to change your logo, because your logo doesn't look very nice. Maybe you need to change the supplier who pack your milk. And I will give you another contact that you will save some money and you will make a nice product. So these are many of the ideas that you can improve. If you have no customers, that's challenging too, because how are we going to start moving ahead and get the first customer? That's important. If you do good things for the first customer, once this customer is satisfied, what will happen is very easy. The best marketing tool in the world is mouth to ear. Me, I talk to you, me, I talk to her, me, I talk to my friends, I talk to my family, I talk to my partners, I talk a lot positive about your company. But if you do a wrong product or wrong approach and you produce something that is not good, I will also talk very bad about you. Hence, it will be very difficult for you to find customers, because everybody who knows me will be sure that you want to buy what you have. Let's apply a sample. Let's put on the scene one sample. Mobile phones, for example. I'm sure many of you has one mobile phone in your pocket, or maybe you're watching us through your mobile phone, or you choose your favorite brand. In order not to talk here about one or another there, I'm sure you are loyal to the brand because the technology that they supply to you, the applications, the access and the benefits that you have. You also pay the price for that mobile phone. You pay a price for the applications, for the data that you share, and that's also the business from telecom companies. Let's say there is a new brand of mobile phones coming into the market, much cheaper than the one you have in your hand. Will you buy it? You can say, oh yes, no, depending. So you will go and check if that new mobile phone has the same characteristics, the camera is good, and with the pixels that you're looking for, the memory, capacity, the apps, how you connect it, and all this. So if this new telephone, cheaper into the market, offers you the same or close to the same that the actual telephone that you have, you might probably change your telephone. Why? Because of money. And we're talking here, everything we're discussing here today in this webinar is we're talking about money. How we improve, how we make more money, how we reduce our cost, how we fight more with the competitors. At the end is the money you have in the pocket. Because with the money in the pocket, it's very difficult to take any project ahead. Possible, yes, but it's harder. So, this mobile phone industry, some of you viewers will not remember or will not know the background of companies like Nokia, for example. Nokia a couple of years ago was the leading mobile phone company worldwide. Apple was fine, Samsung was fine, not to mention many brands, whatever. They were the leading company, and nobody can believe that this company one day will come down. After a couple of years, this company just came down out of the market, out of competition there, and the market that this brand has now, compared to what they had before, was leading company. Cannot believe. Another sample company did happen with a camera companies. It's a camera company that was the leading market. Kodak was a leading market here, developing pictures, cameras, top leader. And when the digital image and photographies came into the market, they started little by little disappear, just shut down bankrupt. From leading company worldwide, thousands of employees, millions of profit, to zero. So as we are talking here about business, about how to bring the things up, you always need to double check your business, what you're doing, and if you're growing too much and too fast, you have to always look at this SWOT analysis. If you're not growing for very long time, you are not moving ahead, you also have to look for it. Maybe it's time to shut down and look for other opportunities that are not related to what you're doing. Hope this is not the case. You choose your project because of your personal interest, because you see potential, because you see people around, because you have mentors and people supporting you. So that's the idea that you have to cultivate. Moving ahead, I will share with you in some of the coaching sessions that we're doing for domestic and international companies, some of the tools and concepts that we are using. And all this with the aim of growing your business and solving some of the problems you might be facing. I put myself always in a position as a gardener. Probably some of you like gardening, some of you do not really recognize the good job that gardeners can do. But the idea here is very simple. My job as a coach, as a mentor, as a leader, you have many people around you, is to keep growing people below us. This never stops. For leaders, we keep creating new leaders, new people to make decisions, keep empowering, keep delegating so people can grow, and when they are not able to grow anymore, we let them go to grow in other areas. So we try never to limit the capability of any of these potential leaders. So the idea of gardener is that I, as a coach, as a mentor there, I will place seeds in every single brain of all my associates and all the people that I have around. Not physically, but I just put one seed into each brain. And my job as a gardener is to water every single seed, every single day. That's what I call myself, a gardener. So, once you have your seed in your brain, you can swap now this seed into one idea. So hopefully, some of the ideas that me and John will put into your brain today will be seeds. So you have several seeds in your brain, and we will keep watering you, means we will keep supporting you, we will keep advising you, we will keep sharing with you what you did right, what you did not right, if some mistake that we need to go back and readjust and place it in track, we will keep watering you on that way until finally some of these seeds will bloom. So in some brains we'll have a watermelon blooming there, that's fantastic and it's very nice, I love watermelon very much. For another person will be a carrot growing there. What to say? Carrot, what a healthy juice, what a beautiful thing. Another one will be a lemon, another one will be any kind of growth. And we transform this symbiology of fruits there growing from that seed into the different business lines that you will be applying. Some of you listening today, you are into nutrition projects. I'm sure some of you are nodding. Oh yes, I am there. Some of you are into the other social impact companies. Just want to see some of you say, oh yes, I'm the one. Some others are your first startup company, the first project you have in hand. So it's something new to you. Yeah, I imagine some of you say, yeah, that's my first new project. So from all these different scenarios, many of you can mention at which stage are you or in which field are you developing. Yeah? So in the Q&A questions after this little talk, we can support you and give you some advice related to that sector that you are. So you will keep growing into different areas. Some will go into medical, some will go into health, some will go into sport, some will go into building a bridge in the Mekong Delta because it's needed there, some will come into sustainability, some into salinization, some into minorities, some into helping communities. Doesn't really matter. The point here, I link into what we were talking before. You and your projects will be adding value to us now because you will be from other different sectors. You remember I told you before that you should talk to people from different areas. Let them give you the opinion, the honest opinion on what are you doing and what are the mistakes and what are the good things that you're doing. So we keep cultivating leaders, coaches, mentors. We keep growing all this atmosphere, all this scenario, all this farm, thanks to all of you. I do find myself very happy, very glad to be part of this beautiful group. When we do event celebrations, when we do some fundraising, when we do some certification, we give some certificates to some of the graduates coming there. I do listen to all of you, not all, you're too many, but many of you who are approaching me, and you talk to me, you talk to John, you talk to some of the other mentors and leaders that you have next to you. And for me, it's also a learning process. I learn a lot from you on what you say. Oh, yes, I realize I did something wrong. I said, okay, so you did something wrong, so what did you do? Did you continue doing the thing wrong one day, after another day, after another day? Or you stop and go back, realign yourself and do it the right way? I found many of you doing that, going back, realign and going the correct way. Otherwise, you keep doing mistakes forever. And that's absolutely not the way to go. If you see something is going wrong, either you're losing, either you are not impacting, either you are not producing, either you are not achieving the results that you are looking for, something needs to be adjusted. Think there are some continuous topics online, and some of these sentences and proverbs, and that the human is the only animal that keep falling down on the same stone once and once again. So the idea here, you should not be doing the same mistake that you did 1 month ago, or 1 year ago, or 1 day ago if your company was started yesterday. That's where we are. So many of the problems, addressing the problems as key issue here, many of the problems you might have are solvable. I don't want to say 100% of them, but very, very high percentage of them can be solved. Thanks to you, you know your company better than anyone. Thanks to the people you have around, can be your friends, can be your family. Thanks to your mentors, coaches, your trainers, the people who's leading the company near you. And the environment when you're working is also very important because that dictates. Especially on that time, you know clearly this webinar organized today is online only just because the situation we are facing. You know, this COVID, we usually organize events 50, 60, 80, 100, 500, a lot of people coming to the events because it's all about learning. We are learning. And we do not charge for learning. So usually free of charge. Me, John, many other colleagues, we do go around supporting, encouraging, sharing, telling you about the mistakes that we did in order for you not to make the mistakes. So my best advice for you is just take these advices, these news, these details as an advantage. I hope when I was on my 20s, some of you are in your 20s here, I do have somebody near me telling me about that. I will take a lot of advantage, a lot. Nothing about money, only about ideas, about supporting, about growing your career there. So, as you see, this coronavirus that everybody is talking about, and it's something that I would not like to bring into the webinar today because everybody's like panicking about it. I'm sure this will bring plenty of opportunities to many different sectors. Plenty. on how we all need to see how this develops, but looking at this affecting globally, and how the economy, how many international companies, how many domestic companies, how restaurants, how shopping malls, everybody's getting affected. So we all hope that this will be improved soon. We're very happy to see that some people that get infected, now they are recovering and getting back into normal life, so that's a really good sign. So just think that these are the different cycles of the economy. This will pass, hope, very soon, but sooner or later will pass. We'll get into control. The vaccines, the health system, the health area, they're working very hard into the remedies and the vaccination and all this. So very, very confident that the professional will find out the solution. And from there, plenty of opportunities will be already there into the market on many, many different fields. Something come to your head, listening to these words, please leave your comments. Leave your comments. Oh, Mr. Miquel, Mr. John, I think about this, I think about that. We will go and tackle. I'll tell you, oh yes, I see this, I see that. It is always difficult. If you ask me in particular, which opportunity you will see that? Well, this depends on many variables. How this will extend, will be the solution to this problem will be found soon, at long term, a short period. But what is sure, that humans will recover from that. That's up and down in the economy, like many has been several years in several countries. So, a little bit more on your problems that you are facing. Opportunities. Opportunities here. Opportunities may vary, can be changed depending on which sector you work in. If you work on health, if you work on sports, if you work on social impact, if you work on architecture, if you work on tourism and hospitality elements, this all changes. But let me share with you a little bit more on opportunities and how you can take advantage and make decisions in a more accurate way. During my career here in Vietnam, I have been working for many companies. I've been working for international brands, 5-star hotel brands. I've been working for tour and travel companies. I've been working for domestic hotels, means hotels that are owned by Vietnamese corporations or Vietnamese owners. I've been working in several countries in Southeast Asia, from Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, here in Vietnam most of my time, but also in Europe. In Europe, I'm coming from near Barcelona. Probably the football lovers will know it very well. We have very good players there, and I'm really excited about football there. So what happened now is that all this experience in different countries, different areas, different companies is here on the table, ready for you. I repeat, all this data information is here ready for you. My advice, don't waste it. Just take advantage of it. The most important thing is free. We are not charging, we are not requesting you to pay anything, we are looking here for sharing. Because when I share with you, you also share with me, and we both win. One of the things I've always been looking in business here in Vietnam is for win-win. Means nobody lose. You can do win-win-win, means 3 parties involved in the project, they all win. That for me is the best advice. I'm a firm believer of increasing your knowledge and you increasing my knowledge. We both grow, that's free. I'm not very good friend when you have to lose and I have to win, because nobody likes to be the loser, correct? So we always try to apply this win-win. We both benefit, you share with me what you know, what you like, what you discover. Every human is different, so we all keep benefiting from the things we are talking about. Give you some real sample. In my country, there in Catalonia, Barcelona, they just stop now all massive events. Football is stopped. In the United States, NBA, NFL, all kinds of stops, and big congregations are stopped. They don't want people to gather together. Even here in Vietnam, the village, no people at the stadium. So, for some of the football lovers, that can be a very big issue. Because when you see the football players playing in an empty stadium, that's, let me tell you, a little bit weird. It's kind of how this sport and people cheering and people shouting, and when you score the goal, I'm a active football player, so I really enjoy when you are at the pitch, and the atmosphere is part of the football game. So even that, there are some opportunities on that closure. Champions League also closed, so many people is losing money. Many people also cannot go to the stadium to see their favorite football match live, as we've been doing day by day since we're there. But this is what the global impact is affecting everybody. So, what more advice for you to take the opportunity? You do not worry much about the things you cannot control. Me, I'm happy to have some things in my hands. I can control if I want to drink water, if I want to switch on the TV, if I want to write my memories in my diary, or if I want to send a message to you. I can do that. Or do a webinar today. I can choose that. I'm free to do that. But can I bring the football back to the Barcelona stadium? I cannot do that. This is not in my hands. And you can say, well, maybe this is many people together. Well, out of my control, I don't want to worry much about. I worry about the things in my hands and I can control. Let me share with you more things I can do. I can share my experience with you. Yes, this is in my control. If we cannot do the big event, 100, 500, 1,000 people in Ho Chi Minh City because the virus, because the health is first, we all agree on that, we take advantage of the technology. That's a chance you might have too. So you might also contact some of your customers with the technology. Can be a webinar, can be my mobile phone, can be by your messenger, can be by your favorite app. Contact them and follow up with them if you cannot go and visit them. This will link to the customer relationship. Sometimes people expect you to call them. And if you don't call them, people is a bit deceived. Oh, why you never call me? You only call me when you need. So I call a lot of my friends when I don't need anything from them. I call John to go and share a coffee just because I want to see him and listen to him. And he wants to listen to me and we share a very good coffee. No aim. Just share and listen, that's a lot. And one of the things that we use in our international seminars, listen carefully to the people you are talking to. That's key. Many of you, millennials, not millennials, doesn't matter which generation you are to, you grow, luckily, 9th generation that everything is still there, your mobile phone, you are globally connected there, but some of you do not talk face-to-face much. So my advice to you, take it or leave it, free, is talk more face-to-face to people, healthy way, especially now with this virus we're talking there. You listen carefully to the person you are talking with the intention of listening. Pay attention to listening. When you listen carefully, after you can think about your reply. Usually, what we do in our day-to-day job is not listen carefully. At the moment that you are talking to me, I'm already thinking on what I'm going to reply to you and how I'm going to say that you are wrong or you are. I'm not listening to all the points that you mentioned. That's why most of the time our replies are not accurate. So this leadership, very important, very important. So there are many things like this that you can do and cost you no money. So the excuse that I have no money, not an option. Give you more samples of things you can do. Help others. Also free of charge, very rewarding. On the way coming to the webinar today, I stopped my motorbike in town there to help one old lady cross the street. This is free of charge, but I'm satisfied with what I did because the lady was not able to cross, was a very busy street there. So I helped her to cross. She said, come on to me, that's the benefit that I take. If any of you viewing today this webinar, this video, you do the same, wherever you are, because this go global, not limited only to Ho Chi Minh City, to Vietnam or ASEAN, this go global. If any single one of you today help somebody who needs to cross the street, do you know the impact we produce? Huge. And this video online will be here lasting for a long time. Will not be deleted soon. So it doesn't matter when you're listening to that advice there. What are you doing to make today's a little bit better? When we say crossing the street, that's a sample. But maybe you can help anyone to find the job they need. I'm helping a lot of people that know or I don't know to find new jobs. How? Because I have a lot of people near me that they need a new accountant, they need a new receptionist, they need a new bartender, they need a new designer, they need a new IT. And I know some of you are available and you have experience and you know, so I just link the dots. Free of charge. This only represents back to me beautiful happiness, satisfaction, because my customers or friends that they need somebody to work, I link them to the persons that you are looking for the position. And when this is completed, my customers and friends, they are better customers and friends, they like me very much. Thank you for the support, nobody any help. And the people who were looking for that job to get some money at the end of the month and continue bringing some other projects or social impacts, maybe the one you are doing today, is also satisfied. You see the entire cycle, right? More things we can help on sustainability. This is a topic that we talk many times there. How can we be a little bit better humans on this global network that we have today? Instead of throwing away this plastic bottle that you just finished drinking, or finish your cigarette, which is not a very healthy habit, let me tell you. You finish the cigarette, instead of throwing it to the floor, depositing where you should deposit. Or what about this? Putting some seeds and growing some plants, or protecting that tree that you saw is nearly dying. That's some of the things that we do, many people do every day. But we see here a better future for you, for your little brother, for your little sister, for your son, for your daughter, for whoever is here. Me, I recall now my days when I was working in Sapa. Sapa is a small village in the top of the mountains where the minorities are living, close to China. Many Vietnamese now are traveling there from Hanoi. It's beautiful. I really recommend to you to go. We do advise there to the minorities, to the hotels, to the visitors there, to leave only footprints in the mountains. Footprints, only the mark of your shoes when you are going to the mountains. No trash, no paints, no rest of whatever thing you've been doing. And this is why, because now when I go back to Sapa 20 years ago, where I was working there 20 years ago, when I go now, I really found the difference there on the amount of garbage, the amount of trash, the amount of, that's not the way we should be going. So the only way we have to make it is better is free of charge. If each of us today just pick up one water bottle, drop on the street, imagine the impact. And we all here talking about impact. All these points we were talking here behind today on taking the opportunity, on solving your problem, is about making impact. Making impact in the business line that you want. These are just 2 or 3 samples of free of charge things that you can do. Of course, you can now propose and say, well, yes, but if we have money, we can do more. If we have more resources, we can do more. If we can, yes, I agree with that. But let me tell you, as an European citizen living here in Vietnam for over 2 decades, I have plenty of European companies who want to invest here in Vietnam. Invest in many different fields. Maybe the one you have your project now, and doesn't matter when you listen this video. It's now 2020, or doesn't matter many years to come. These companies in Europe, they realize now that it's not enough to keep the European countries clean. Think about Switzerland, for example, or think about Netherlands, for example, which is very clean. People go by bicycle. You are not allowed to throw things on the floor. A lot of baskets there. So it's like a small paradise. I've been there several times there, and friends living there. Beautiful country there. What Europe realized now is that the problem of garbage, sustainability, green, recycling, all this is a global problem. So many of these companies, they're now investing not only here in Vietnam and in Asia, also in South America, in the United States, in Australia, in the North, everywhere. They want to invest because they want to make the world globally a little bit better. And that's our role. That's our role. So talking to some senior colleagues a few days ago here in Ho Chi Minh City, we were sharing a very interesting talk. I enjoy talking a lot to, I would say, to older persons than me. We'll talk a lot to people over 60s and 65 and 69. Because these people, they have many things to share. My advice, listen to young people. I'm happy always to talk to young entrepreneurs and people with many ideas. I love it. But also to the seniors. Seniority brings you a kind of knowledge on many different areas that you can learn a lot. So this colleague was telling me, you know, Miquel, I grow in Europe, and I came here to Vietnam many years ago. I have many ideas. I put many ideas to the ministry. I put many ideas at the universities. I cooperate with many social enterprises there, and I deliver a lot of ideas. And when I see the people growing and making wealth, making profit, and making a great development, that's the best thing that can happen to me. Even I don't receive any money on that. It has its own job, so no need to worry about anymore. So that's the beauty of money. Another sample, a couple of days ago, one of my young customers, 69 years young, came to visit me from Australia. And so we're sitting together, and he called me to my office after working hours. So I was theoretically not working. I came to see him, my pleasure. He brought me the book that he wrote in Australia. And he dedicated the book to me. And that's book for you, Miquel. Thank you very much there. And in the book, this Australian gentleman, he explained his own life since he was born in Australia with a son of a family and the grandparents, and I'm enjoying reading it, and the way you are learning the process, the talk, what he says, what he do, where he moves, in which way he develops, you also learning a lot. That's what I told you before. Either you go to Google, either you go to a book, either you talk to an older person, to your parents, maybe to somebody younger than you do. So it's always a learning process that we should not keep closed. It's like a book. You choose one chapter and you like it more, another chapter you like it less, but all of them really interesting, and in full, at the end they compile the whole book. So this gentleman was telling me the way he helped and the way he comes here now to Vietnam regularly with his Vietnamese wife, which is neighbor of the area where we were living, and just explaining to him that he just started now at 69 years young another book about one friend that he knows for over 35 years. So the way he was explaining to me, he was really, really excited. The way he was compiling the data, and he asked me the question he asked me anytime he comes here to Ho Chi Minh City, Miquel, do you still keep writing? How is your book doing? So I'm writing also a book, and plenty of stories coming in there about Vietnam, and the people coming and living in Vietnam. Very interesting about that. The culture is really, really amazing here in this beautiful country. And he just said that the book that he was writing now needs to be finalized before he dies. You say, well, but you healthy now, you're 69. Well, you know, Miquel, yeah, the age is here, and we sometimes in winter I feel here, I feel there, and whatever. But he feels really, really young and energetic to go. So, coming back to you, how this affects to you. Some of you, younger or not too young, or senior or big senior, doesn't really matter because it's never too late to go ahead into the project you have in hand. Just think about these major brands, major leaders, that they start growing their careers and processing their projects there at late 50s. Even some at 60s, they start growing and after they become multi-millionaire. But for me, not really issue is not the fact of the money. We were talking before, the problem here, how to fundraise or how to get the money in. Sometimes it's more about your capability, what is in your head, what is your leadership inside of you, what is the people near you, because all this in a round equals the money coming in. Do not mislead yourself. There is something inside of you and you start this project because you see some potential. But you know what? Sometimes some projects that we think are feasible there do not work. And we need to shut down and start the new one again. This sometimes happens. The important thing here for you is to learn all this way you've been doing, the efforts you put there, the mistakes you did, the good things you do, the bad things that you do. This is a learning process. All these things that you learn into this project that might work or might not work will help you in the next stage, in the new company you will create or growing your own project and your own company. Everything is about learning. And learning is a day-to-day thing. You know that you say that at 40 you stop learning or at 60 you stop learning. You keep learning and improving yourself because every single day you are different. Today you are different from yesterday and tomorrow you will be different from today. Why? Well, simply because you will be maybe listening to this video today and that tickles some things into your brain. So, I never thought about that. Or, wow, yeah, maybe it's time for me to do the SWOT analysis. Oh, maybe it's time for me to do this SAM chart. I never thought about that. So you are becoming different in a positive way. You are improving yourself. Your skills are getting better. And that's the way to go. From there, you're getting better means that the relationship with all your associates, with your customers, with your staff, with your partners, with your directors, with your coaches, with your mentors, is also getting better. Why? Because of you, central of you now. But if you get better and all the satellite people who's around you also getting better thanks to you, means that everybody's getting better. We go back again to the win-win situation where everybody benefits. And that's the point where we are now. Me, sometimes I do think that it's not really about me. It's about you. Because me, I get better every day, but you don't improve yourself. We are in a kind of problem here. Because we are not improving the way we should. But if I improve and you also improve, we both together are getting better. And all the people around us, they also coming better. And that's where we all get better. Doesn't matter which project you are, like I generalize it very generic. And we don't go specifically into one or another project. Clear that? So, let me share with you more about problems. That's a topic that we're facing today here. When you have a problem, what you're really doing with that problem? I keep this 3 or 4 seconds there. What you really doing with that problem? I will say, when a problem coming, unless we're talking about fire in the building, immediately you call the fire brigade. If an accident, you immediately call the ambulance to come to support, the first aid team, come there. We're not talking about that. Tsunami coming, let's all run together, but we're not talking about that. You have a problem in your project, in your business. A human problem, some staff, some of your members want to resign, for example, or one customer is complaining, or you lose some money in some transaction. That's the kind of problems we can face in our projects. I recommend you to sit down and relax. That's the first thing. That's an advice I'm giving to you after many, many years solving problems and dealing with issues. And I say sit down is because you really need to understand what the problem is about. You need clarity. Working with some of the leaders that I'm empowering, we do coach and discuss a lot about this clarity. Things are not clear enough, so how you going to make a decision? Clarity, we are talking about understanding 100% what the problem is about. Give you a sample. Customer is complaining. So the receptionist in my hotel is coming, oh, Mr. Miquel, we have a problem. Well, problem. Yeah, problem is here. Yes, the problem is one customer is complaining. Wow. So I talked to my receptionist, please sit down here. Give me more clarity. Can you explain to me why we complaining? Complaining about what? So the receptionist explained the problem to me. Well, the customer would like to leave the room at 3 p.m. instead of at noontime because the flight is at 6 p.m. The flight was delayed. So that is the problem that my receptionist and my customer have. You can say, oh, but that's not a real problem. Well, what we work in hospitality, that's some of the daily problems that we are facing. You can have your own in your own field. So the issue is talking to the receptionist to inform the guest that we will keep the room until the time that he needs, so the customer is satisfied, and will return back again next week. Yes? And that's what we need. The customer to return next week. And the following, and the following. And that's where our business grows. So you realize now from the problem coming from my door to my desk, you sit down, you analyze, you let the customer stay there because you want the customer to return and come back. And this doesn't really affect our day-to-day operation. Because if somebody arrives, we have another room ready for them. That's just a sample for you. But clarity is very important. Many of you, in your first startup project, or the first assignment that you have, or the first market issue that you are facing, sometimes you are not clear enough on what you really want to do, where would you like to be in 1 year, in 2 years, in 5 years' time. That's also very important to forecast what is going to happen in the coming future. Not easy, but we're happy to share maybe another session to talk about forecasts, about how do we plan the future ahead. And also, you do sometimes need clarity on the services or products or customers you are serving. Sometimes your customers do not really know your product. Means, you are selling, take the example of milk we were doing before, or beer, or doesn't matter. You're selling milk to one company who buys your milk there, and this company resell back your milk to other customers. So you never hear from the final customer if they like the milk or not. You only hear from your middle person saying, yeah, price of your milk is good, the quality is good, I have received no complaint, that's okay. So what we do is we do track our milk going to the shop. I want to talk to the people who really drink my milk. And this gives me better clarity, right? These people who really drink the milk, they can share with me what they think on the milk. Is it sweet enough? Is it too watery? It is too thick? Oh, I want milk that I need to keep in the fridge. So many of these things, after you can work out with your team and improve that. And that's just a sample. We talk about water, we talk about nutrition system, we talk about any single topic that you would like to develop. Clarity. Very important. Let me share with you some more tricks, which is not really tricks. At the end, you see, it's not really secrets on that. If not on knowing clearly what we are doing. We share with you one more tool that helps me a lot to solve some of the problems coming into my table, and it's called delegation. Delegation is something similar to empowerment. Means that I have, because my role as a general manager or director or founder or CEO, I have some authority, I have some power. So I can share with you some of the tricks that we can do or we cannot do. But the way I manage is I give to each one of my 5 or 6 managers, my team, I give them power. I give them liability, responsibility, so they can follow up each one of them into the different projects that they have to complete. This, let me share with you, is not easy. I know many colleagues, many general managers, many CEOs that are not really ready to empower other people. They want to control everything. They control everything and say, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to share this. Let me tell you, this person is not the leader we are looking for. To be a leader, you need to keep growing the people under you. You cannot be the leader yourself there and not empower them. That's not the kind of leader that will be successful. So to give some authority to some of the members of my teams, that's key. And also, accountability. You are responsible for that project, so you have to ensure that this will run okay. Otherwise, you are responsible for that. And after, we can explore which will be the benefits, if the project goes well, which will be not the benefits, will be the points that we need to address if the project don't follow as we do expect. All this empowering and giving authority and to all your team to work resume in a word called trust. I would like to put it here on the screen, because for me, trust is one of the key issues here. Trust is not only for yourself and your teammates, it's for your customers, it's for your market, it's for the people around, it's for the associates, it's for the people who's not near you. Trust in 21st century is key. And one of the issues here is that trust cannot be bought. Cannot be bought. You have to earn it day by day. How to trust? How to trust? I think you have to ask yourself how to trust. Do you trust your best friend? Do you trust your mom? Do you trust your little brother or your older, or your sister or your elder sister? Who do you trust? I recommend to you to place a new paper on, and list there the people you trust. I would say that's key, because in this 21st century here, we are moving a lot towards making decisions that cost a lot of money. And sometimes we sign contracts for hundreds of thousands, for millions. We need to sign, and we accounting and take responsibility for that signature. Maybe it's not your case. Your project is still small, but you still need to sign for some expenses. You take your motorbike to go and deliver something. You need to go to pick up some documents. You need to buy some equipment. You need to buy some stationery. So that is exactly what we're talking about. Doesn't matter if you cite or not, or you cite a little. You need to take some responsibilities on that. The money is gone. You are responsible for that, and you have to face and report back to your mentor, to your company, to your superior, to whoever you are reporting to. And without trust, this is very difficult. In majority of the business we are working today, one of the biggest problems is trust. We do see different department heads who do not really are team members. They are competing against each other. If your company is still very small, maybe you are not at this stage yet. But if you keep growing, empower and create different departments, promotion, sales and marketing, health and doctor, a lot of competition. And we, as human beings, we bring problems and issues into our day-to-day, into our work, into the way of living. These human beings, you cannot change that. Means, each of us human beings, we have our own characteristics. You can come from a different part of the world, you can work in one way, in one style, in one environment. We not talk about that. Everybody is different, and that's, I will say, the great thing in this world, that everybody is different. We are not replicated and copy-paste. But at the same time, we need to learn how do we interact with other people. And that's where the trust comes into the scene. Maybe you come to work into your place of work and there is people there that you don't like. We were doing some training, some of my beautiful teammates, and we were coaching about that. You have to learn sometimes to work with people you don't like. Let me repeat again. You have to work with people you don't like. That means that maybe you have customers and you don't like them very much. Means you like their customers because they pay you your products or your project, you make money, but you don't like them personally. Sure, some of you thinking clearly about what we're talking about. But in the place where you work, your 5 or 6 members, maybe some of them you don't like very much. Some, yes, you can go out and have a drink with them. Some, you will never get out and have a drink with them. The point here is that you still need to work with these people you don't like. And that's not an easy task. Let me give you some advice on that. Our working environment has our own responsibilities, our pros and cons. For me, I come to work every Monday to my regular job, and it's a beautiful Monday. For me, Monday is the best day of the week. I come after Saturday and Sunday. Of course, I enjoy, have time with your friends, with your family, working. Many Saturdays and Sundays are working and thinking and developing and growing and talking to people on growing careers. That's a pleasure. That's a pleasure. So for me, when I come Monday, I have sometimes accumulated maybe the Saturday or Sunday. If you've been working on other areas, you have many things to solve. So in theory, Monday, the day go very fast because you set up your priorities and things you have to do. First one, the ones that you will do later. So Monday go very fast. So for me, when Monday is gone, that's my week, because my weekend starts on Tuesday. Tuesday to Sunday is my weekend. You can say, well, what you're talking about? Yes, that works for me very, very well. So every single day, going to the office to see my teammates, my partners, they are part of my family. I leave my family back home, my wife, my son Jordinan, my daughter Raqueline, my wife Quinine, goodbye. I go back to work, but I met all my beautiful partners and friends at my working place, and I love them very much. Even some people that I don't like them very much because their character, because the hairstyle they wear, because the way I still have to work with them, and I sit with them with pleasure. So very little enemies. That's another advice for you. Try to procreate, cultivate a lot of friends, a lot of people who add value to you, and not too many enemies. Doesn't matter which business you're doing. Clear point. Sometimes not easy. Because fight, individual, I want to earn more, you earn less, you take my money, you take my investments. Many things have happened. Business is like this. But not everything is as pink as you can see. Problems here is when you come there to the office and we have to take some decisions. So we put some things on the table. Okay, today we need to decide what will be our marketing plan for the next year. So all my team give us input. My sales manager give me some feedback, my front office manager give me some feedback, everybody has input. And me, I take notes. And at the end of the meeting, the purpose of that meeting is to agree on that final marketing plan. That's the purpose of the meeting. We have 1 hour for the meeting or 2 hours. You set up the time, start the meeting, and the meeting purpose is to finalize that marketing plan. So everybody, oh, we should do this, we should do that, we can change that, we can improve that. That's clear. But at the end, marketing is done, and everybody input. So everybody is part of that plan, and that's key because everybody is committed to achieve what we promised we are going to achieve. It's not me, it's not you, it's we all in a team. People we like, people we don't like. Yes. But not only that, aside of meeting all this team, I also met my customers. And for me, that's a pleasure. I have many friends who come to visit me and share some of their knowledge, some business, some ideas, some new books that they publish. Like this customer has come recently, and some other new customers coming in. And I do listen to what they say about my business, about my services, about my vision, about my ideas, and some of them I have to maybe remove, not use anymore because my customers do not like it. We are here because customers. So that solved my problem. Talking to my team, talking to my customers, talking to my superior. So I go to my office and seek advice from the people with more experience than me. That's the way I'm reducing my risk and solving most of my problems. Last but not least, because our time is going and we've been talking for a while, I don't feel like talking alone into this camera here because I see a lot of comments and a lot of suggestions coming in and requesting, and the team now is taking a lot of notes. And so I hope we can solve now all these Q&A during a few minutes that will be after this video. So just share with you these different topics we've been discussing today, and just encourage you, each one of you, to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday, or tomorrow a little bit more than today. And that's the small talk for today. Please leave your comments, suggestions, questions, complaints if you find it too short, too long, if you would like to hear more, if you have your interesting topic, so maybe we can address in the coming days. Good day to you wherever you are. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Hey guys.